Hello and welcome if you're new to my channel, and if you're a subscriber, a warm welcome back. This video is part of the home series where I focus in on a particular room in the house and I break it down according to the items that go in that room and then recommend some of the best brands for those items. In this particular video, and possibly the next 8 or 10 videos going forward, I'm going to be focused on kitchen appliances. It's also a series that has been requested by one of my wonderful subscribers, Charles Kang. So Charles, this entire series is for you. At the end of the series, if there's any brand you feel I've missed or you'd like me to talk about in any more detail, let me know, as always, in the comments down below. But in this particular video, I'm going to kickstart with Miele. And I'm going to be talking about possibly 8 or 10 brands. At the end of the series, I will record an additional 2 or 3 videos where I'll just compare and contrast some of the strong points of the different brands that I've spoken about. I'm Anesu Sagonda and I produce educational luxury content for anyone after the finer things. Whether you're young and starting out in life and wanting to reap the benefits of buying quality from the get-go, or you're new to money and wanting to learn how to navigate the terrain, or you're into luxury but you want to focus more on the brands that operate very much under the radar and packing a mighty quality punch, then my content is very much geared towards you. Miele is a German brand. And the Germans, regardless of the product group, whether it is in the automotive space, think of Porsche, Mercedes, Audi, or it's skincare with Nivea, apparel with Hugo Boss, or Adidas with footwear. They're known for their precision, their engineering, and the excellent build quality of their products. And Miele is absolutely no different. When you talk to somebody who's familiar with Miele, whether it's a consumer or a retailer, the one message they consistently talk about is the longevity of Miele products. Miele appliances, every single appliance is rigorously tested to perform and last for 20 years. And that's on average, depending, of course, on how you look after the appliance. The appliances are made in Germany and they're made using components that have been made from the highest quality raw materials by Miele. The focus is very much for the brand on creating appliances that are the leaders when it comes to technology, at the forefront of innovation. I'm going to talk in more detail about items such as the Moisture Plus, for example, or the cutlery tray that they had a patent on for 20 years, and then when it elapsed, many brands went on to copy that, or they were the first brand to introduce the zoneless induction hob. But right at the core of Miele as a brand, they're focused on building appliances that are incredibly efficient, but they don't compromise on the performance of the appliance. Very much about using less energy, less water, less detergent, for example, but still producing very high quality results. The focus for Miele as a brand is very much on the quality of the appliances, the craftsmanship to create them, the performance which doesn't deteriorate during the life of the appliance, and of course the longevity, the 20 years that their products are produced and tested to last for. Miele is very much a mass-focused brand, especially when I compare it to the other brands I'll talk about in this series. And the other brands, think for example, another German brand, Gaggenau, French brand La Cornue, there's American Sub-Zero and Wolf. They're very much focused at producing appliances for the top end, and that's reflected in their prices. But Miele is a brand more for the masses in that they have a good solid selection of your entry level, your mid-tier and top end ranges within their kitchen appliances, and it's up to you to save for whichever price point you can afford. But regardless of which price point you go for with Miele, you're getting a phenomenal quality product that's going to last a long time, perform very well, and you will get your money back over and over again. Miele produce a diverse selection of kitchen appliances, ranging from your coffee machines to various ovens. You have hobs, you have refrigerators, you have wine coolers, you have tumble dryers, washing machines, dishwashers, rotaries, vacuum cleaners. I'm going to touch on what I think are the core kitchen appliances. If there's anything I've missed out, let me know in the comments down below, and I can always talk about it later in the year. But I'm going to be focused more on their top end ranges, and I will highlight the key selling points, what makes Miele stand out, what are the key features, for example. And I'll just touch on that with all of their appliances. Miele have an app called Miele at Home, and it's an app that synchronizes all of their appliances. So whether you have one or several Miele appliances, you are able to operate that appliance remotely from another room in the house or away from the house. And you're also able to see how food is progressing, for example, in the oven. In their top of the range prestige ovens, they have a high definition camera in there, and it takes periodic pictures of the food as it's cooking and sends them to the app, and you're able to see how the food is progressing, because the lighting ensures the color accuracy of the pictures. But for safety reasons, their hobs and ovens can't be started. You can't start a program away from the kitchen, but you can cancel or amend a current or ongoing or a live program. But looking specifically at ovens, as I mentioned, Miele have your entry, mid-tier, top end of the market. I'm going to focus primarily on the top end of the market, but I may refer to your mid-tier brands just to give you an idea of the progress in terms of technology, or just how innovative Miele have become with their that particular appliance. But looking specifically at ovens, the mid-tier, top end, mid-tier is referred to as their premium, and then the top end is the prestige. As you can imagine, as you go up the levels from premium to prestige, the number of colors and sizes and different materials used increase. And you also have the option with your prestige and also the premium for the soft close. You also have the option to also not have handles on the appliance. But looking specifically at the top end appliance, the prestige, from an aesthetics point of view, it has what's called the M-Touch technology. M-Touch technology is where you have the full-sized touch screen. Right at the top end with prestige, you have access to the biggest selection of recipes available from Miele. Scroll through the screen and you're able to choose whatever recipe you would like to prepare. As you come down to premium, for example, the screen gets much smaller, and you tend to have buttons all around to help you choose the different recipes. But the screen is typically the size of your finger, and then it gets bigger as you go up to prestige. With Miele ovens, they are absolutely perfect for somebody who doesn't like cooking, who doesn't know how to cook, or who would like an appliance that does absolutely everything for you. Provided you follow the recipes as directed, your food will be cooked to perfection. You have two options when it comes to Miele ovens. The first option is the single unit oven, so think convection, microwave, your steam ovens. And then the second option is the combination ovens, so it's the combination of the three. So think, for example, convection with steam, convection with microwave, and you also get microwave with steam. Depending on who you talk to, it's something that they've produced and they potentially may come back to in the future. But with your single unit ovens, you're looking at a starting price of around £3,700, whereas with your combination ovens, you're looking at a starting price of about £5,500. The biggest standout feature when you look at the Miele single unit ovens is the Moisture Plus function. It's game changing. Nobody else in the industry is doing something similar. With the Moisture Plus, their moisture nozzle is able to heat and inject moisture onto the food that's being prepared, whether it's meat or fish, whatever it may be, and it's able to keep that food moist without the transfer of flavors. What you find with most brands is they'll have variations of a tray with water and steam rises. If you have a number of different dishes cooking at the same time in the oven, you potentially will get a situation where there's the transfer of flavors from one dish to the other that's being prepared in the same oven. But you don't get that with Miele with the Moisture Plus function. Depending on the level, premium, you typically find you add water to a cup and then the nozzle takes up the water. Whereas with prestige, the moisture plus function is plumbed in, so water is just fed through directly from the plumbing. The other standout features right at the top end of the prestige level with Miele, you have, for example, when you open the oven, you have the LED lighting all the way around the oven. That, as I mentioned earlier, ensures the high picture quality of the pictures that are sent through to you when food is being prepared, so you can see how the food is progressing. With premium, you find the light is just at the top. Also, with the prestige, the ovens are fully paralytic with the exception of the baking sheets. You take out the baking sheets, everything else that's left in there, the racks, are all fully paralytic. What's also included in that is the camera, and it's the only brand in the market where they have the camera and it's fully paralytic as well. What you also get with Prestige is the wireless probe. With Premium, the probe is plugged in. With the wireless at the top, the probe is able to tell the temperature of the food that you're preparing as well as the temperature of the oven. So two different temperature settings that you will get. With Miele, as I mentioned, it's great for somebody who doesn't enjoy cooking. With the probe, it's able to tell you when meat, for example, is medium, medium rare, well done. And what happens is you have a function called taste control. Once the food has been prepared to the level, the quality, what is desired, the oven door clicks, opens ever so slightly and leaves a sliver at the top, and hot air is able to escape. There are also fans inside that help suck out the moisture so the food stops cooking and it's not over prepared. Miele ovens are also the only ovens in the market that have the 1 degree increments. Most brands, temperature increments are of between 5 to possibly 10 degrees, whereas with Miele it's single, 61, 62, 63, for example. What you also get is the food view that I mentioned earlier, where you are able to see the food as it's being prepared. You get pictures that are sent through to you via Miele at home. When you use the combination convection with the steam, for example, with Premium, the steam function is a tank you fill with water whenever you need it and you add it to the oven. Whereas with Prestige, the plumbing, the steam function is plumbed in, so steam automatically is heated and injected out to the dish. There's nothing overly complicated about hobs other than you turn them on and you turn them off. Where a brand differentiates themselves is down to the design aesthetic and the configuration of their hobs. Miele produce your induction electricity and also your gas hobs. They do have range cookers, so that's the hob and the oven that are joined together as one unit. And there are 2 ranges in the United Kingdom, but they're actually going to be discontinued as they're not popular in the United Kingdom. But in the United States, range cookers are incredibly popular, and they have about 12 ranges that Miele produce. If it's something of interest, let me know in the comments down below, and I can always make a separate video later in the year or include a bit of information when I compare and contrast at the end of this series. So do let me know in the comments down below. But looking specifically at your induction hobs, as I mentioned earlier, Miele were the first brand to introduce the zoneless induction hob, and then many brands went on to copy that. Also looking at induction hobs, Miele also have the most number of induction coils under their hobs. All the other brands produce circular coils, whereas Miele's are rectangular. That way they're able to fit a lot more coils under their induction hobs, and therefore making them the most efficient. They're incredibly efficient. With your Miele hobs, whether it's induction or gas, you get the option to add extraction, whether it's your overhead extraction or you have your downdraft. Depending on which one you choose, lighting automatically comes on when you turn on the hob. But what you get with all of the options is, as you increase the power of the hob, so does the power of the extraction go up. In terms of prices, you're looking at, for example, your modular pieces, whether it's one plate or a plate with 2 induction rings, or a single gas ring or a teppanyaki, for example, you're looking at prices of £1,500 to £2,000 for the modular options, whereas your 60, 70, 90 centimeter zoneless, for example, you're looking at a price of about £3,000. And your 5 or 6 ring gas, you're looking at about £2,800 to £2,900. But Miele Hobs are very much about the design aesthetic, as I mentioned, and you're buying a product that's arguably the most efficient in the market with the most number of induction coils under the hood. In a few of my videos, I have spoken about the importance of looking after your clothes. As you know, I'm a huge advocate of buy better, buy less. It's not enough to buy good quality clothes, but you don't look after them appropriately. Looking after them entails how you wash them and also how you store them. I think something a lot of people overlook, or maybe don't even consider, doesn't cross their minds, is you can spend thousands, tens of thousands of pounds, of dollars, whatever the currency is, on clothes, but you wash them in a machine that's possibly cheap, that's average quality, a machine that's not fitting in terms of being able to wash your good quality clothes to the quality, to the standard that is appropriate to clean them, and also help maintain the quality and the longevity of those clothes. That's something you need to marry, where you have good quality clothes and an equally good quality machine to clean them before you then go on to how are you storing your clothes. You need to get the whole spectrum right. When it comes to washing machines across the board, whether it's washing machines, dishwashers, tumble dryers, Miele confidently own the space. Their motto is Ima Besa, forever better. And there isn't a brand I know of where they are consistently at the top of, whether it's reviews, conversations I've had personally, professionally. They own the space so confidently. I'm going to talk about Miele washing machines and also their tumble dryers interchangeably. And then I'm going to slip in the iron rotary and end with their dishwasher. Core structures of the washing machine and tumble dryer are identical. The only difference is in the functionality. The drum is made from stainless steel, both on the inside as well as the outside. What you find with a lot of brands in the market is they will typically use stainless steel on the inside of the drum, but the outside they will largely coat it with a hard plastic, typically Polynox. And what you may find with wear and tear over time is that it'll split, crack, it can potentially break. The outside of the drum is covered in a casing of cast iron. It's incredibly heavy. It gives the balance to the washing machine and also helps with the longevity. But that's the same for the washing machine and the tumble dryer. Both are then coated in enamel, and that makes the appliance scratch resistant. Top end of the market, the Prestige. Top end of the Miele range is the Prestige, in particular a range called Passion. Has capabilities of washes of 7 to 8, 9 kilograms depending on your needs. Typical prices start from about £2,600 for the washing machine, and the matching tumble dryer is about £2,500. I know a lot of you will balk at that price, but what you're getting is a phenomenal quality product in terms of incredibly highly performing, and you're getting the longevity. As I mentioned earlier, Miele products are made and then tested rigorously to last for 20 years, so you will get your money's worth on top of the superior performance you're going to get from the appliance. What you get as well with the washing machine and the tumble dryer as part of the Prestige, right at the top end of the market, is the full screen touch screen, similar to the oven appliances, and it has a massive selection of very well thought out programs for both washing machine and the tumble dryer. And what Miele actually recommend is that you input the variables of what you'd like to wash, and then the machine will choose the most appropriate program. With both the washing machine and the tumble dryer, when you open them, they are incredibly similar, very smart, very sleek, neat aesthetic, very little going on. The detail is all in the performance and longevity of the machine. That's where they want the focus. And you can tell the quality of the components they've used. It screams at you. When you look at a Miele washing machine, it's just quality in terms of the look, the feel of the product. Open the appliances, both washing machine, tumble dryer, they have nozzles on the top, and those nozzles are steam jets. What happens is with the washing machine, when you finish the wash and spin, for example, clothes are potentially creased, the steam is injected as a pre-iron function to just melt away some of the creases and help with ironing. With the tumble dryer, it's the same, it's a pre-iron function, but you can also use it to freshen up clothes before you put them on or put them away, hang them up for storage later. What you also get with both is the honeycomb designed drum. That is designed specifically so that you don't get any bobbling, any tearing, any snagging, any adverse repercussions to the clothes during the cycle, whether it's washing or when it's in the tumble dryer. You don't get anything happening to the clothes. It creates a buffer between, for example, in the washing machine, the water and the clothes. But looking specifically at the washing machine, you get two standout features. The first is twin DOS, and twin DOS is where they have a unit built in where you add your own detergent, or you can buy Miele's own detergent. As you can imagine, they create a high-performing machine, and they have created an equally high-performing detergent. And you can add your own, add the Miele one, if you choose, by their own brand, and the machine is able to choose just the right amount of detergent for the program and the clothes that you are washing. The other standout function is the washing machine has two pumps. The one pump that every washing machine has connected to the cold water, and then the second pump you can connect it either to the hot water, to well water, to rainwater, to soft water, whatever other water pump you'd like to connect it to, you can do that. Even the hot water, because you don't then have to, the machine doesn't have to heat the hot water when you need a program with a high temperature. And it makes the machine a lot more efficient. You're not using as much electricity, for example. What you also get with the washing machines is different sizes. You have the capabilities of washing up to 7, 8, or even 9 kilograms. But what you get with the Prestige, and in particular the Passion at the top end of the market, is the option to have a power wash of up to 5 kilograms, and it's a 2-hour wash, typically done in 49 minutes. You also have the option to wash one item or 1 kilogram worth of items, and you use less water, less detergent, and less electricity. Washing machines, you're looking at a price of starting price of 2,600 for the top end, and then the tumble dryers, the matching tumble dryers, you're looking at about 2,500 pounds. I know you're balking at that price, but what you are getting is a very high performing product. And Miele, as I mentioned right at the beginning, they test their products rigorously to last on average 20 years. So you will more than get your money's worth when it comes to performance and how well the machines look after your products. Looking specifically at the tumble dryers, two standout features as well. The first one is the fragrance DOS. Miele, in addition to creating their own range of high-performing detergents, they also create 5 different fragrances for you to scent your clothes. The machine has the capability to store 2 fragrances, and what happens with fragrance DOS is after you have washed your clothes and placed them in the tumble dryer, it adds the fragrance to your clothes. This means you don't necessarily need to add softener when you're washing the clothes, because what will happen is with the tumble dryer, the clothes are softened anyway with the hot air, and then the fragrance from the softener will be overpowered and replaced by the fragrance DOS fragrance. The other standout feature is the perfect dry. The machine has sensors which are able to pick up on the amount of moisture in the clothes, and it's able to dry the clothes perfectly. It knows exactly when to stop. But both machines have a superb selection of programs. Some you may never use, and your clothes will be incredibly well taken care of with high performing products. The iron rotary is something that I don't see a lot of, but I'm aware of, and I've seen it used a couple of times. I've spoken about some of the best linen in the market, and I would highly recommend the iron rotary, particularly if you're somebody who has very expensive linen, you have very good quality linen. As I mentioned in the linen videos, I'm going to attach those to this video. You need to ensure you're looking after your linen so you really enjoy the benefits of buying good quality linen. And one of them, apart from how you launder the linen, is ironing. Ironing is actually the best bit. If you don't get out the creases, the kinks in your linen, you won't enjoy the beauty, the quality of the cotton, typically Egyptian cotton, for example. And I would highly recommend getting the iron rotary. It also saves on time and it's incredibly efficient. You just need literally one roll of the rotary. Prices, you're looking at around the £1,600 mark, but you can use the iron rotary apart from linen for clothes. But I would always recommend, if you have very good linen and you're changing it regularly, the iron rotary is a no-brainer. You'll get your money's worth. My final is the dishwasher. And Miele have been game-changing when it comes to dishwashers. They created the cutlery tray about 40 years ago. I'm sorry, at the beginning I made a mistake and said 20 years ago, about 40 years ago. And then when the patent elapsed, many brands went on to copy it because it's a fantastic design, it's highly adaptable, and you can make it work with whatever you are putting in the dishwasher. But it also has two other standout features. The first is the auto DOS, very similar to the twin DOS. It takes a power disc, it's a big tablet of soap, and the machine uses just enough soap for every wash. It doesn't use too much or too little. It takes just enough. It typically lasts a month, but it depends on how soiled your plates are that you are washing. The second standout feature is the open dry. What happens is once the dishwasher is done, it just opens slightly and lets out steam. It's an incredibly efficient and effective way of drying the dishes. And then also throw into that, it has a power wash function, which is about 54 minutes. It's incredibly fast and very efficient. I'm actually going to wrap up this video at this point because I still have refrigerators, wine coolers, vacuum cleaners, and coffee machines to talk about. This video will actually end up becoming incredibly lengthy. I will talk about those 4 items in a later video, but if you have any further questions about anything that I have spoken about in this video, do let me know as always in the comments down below. But as always, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.